Slyders was developed and published by Kato Games, and I want to give a special thank you to them for giving me an earlier code to be able to check out the demo of the game. It's currently not out at this present moment that I'm reviewing the demo, but it's pretty fun. But it's an arena shooter survival roguelike kind of game where you take control of a fox called Arix and you fight your way through levels trying to rid the sky world of evil. Now, the game runs incredibly well. I had it at solid 60 frames per second, pretty much maxed out on the Steam Deck, and it runs a solid 144 frames on my PC. Oh, that's the refresh rate of my monitor before people come at me. Okay, I know you can have more than that, but 144 is my limit at the minute. All right, okay. So yeah, so it runs solidly. It's got really good graphics as well, and the designs on the world is really cool. The characters and villains are all pretty well designed too, and the whole thing gives me like N64 GameCube vibes with the sort of art style they were going for, which is great for me as being an old crusty gamer. That really sings to home to me. The gunplay is also very good, and there's plenty of upgrades that you can gain by killing the enemies and collecting the gems to level up. If you've played like Vampire Survivor or games like that, it's effectively that, but instead of being an isometric game, it's first person shooting. Now, the upgrades you have from leveling up, of course, they can range from buffing your health to gaining regen or armor to special abilities and moves and summons and a whole host more as well. There's plenty to choose from, and the gameplay is in itself very fast and fluid. As the levels progress, they become more and more chaotic with loads of little mini bosses appearing and then bigger bosses appearing, which is pretty cool. And in all honesty, I like nearly everything about the game, but unfortunately it does lack something that I think would add loads to the gameplay, and that is verticality. From what I've played of the demo, which obviously is very limited at the minute, and what I've seen in trailers and gameplay, is that it's all basically ground level and flat. And it's not a major negative, but I think a bit of verticality will add tons to the core gameplay, being able to gain high ground, and as we all know from Star Wars, if you have the high ground you win. But other than that, it's just running around on the ground. Yes, you can jump and whatnot, and you can gain abilities like do ground pound attacks and whatnot, and gain the ability to dash and all that kind of stuff. But I just think if there was different different levels, as in being able to get higher than your enemy inside of the levels, then I think that would just add a little bit more. But everything other than that is great, in all honesty, for a demo and from a smaller developer. And for the most part, a lot of the times now, these indie games, they are showing how it really is done, because you've got all these game studios that have 400 staff members for some reason. Now, I'm not blaming game developers as such. I know it must be very difficult, and there's obviously a lot of pressure on them, and I'm blaming management on that from like EA and Ubisoft and other large entities as well. Does it really take that many people to make a game when all these indie developers with a much smaller team of roughly around 30 odd people can make a game, and even in its demo form have it run absolutely solid? And a lot of the indie games that are released now, they do work very, very well from the get-go, which should be the case for everything. Everything should work fine. It's no good buying a car and it being absolutely shite, and then the manufacturers go, "Oh, don't worry, yeah, we'll patch that later." It's like, no, it needs to work now, bitch. But but that aside, Slider is definitely a roguelike shooter to keep an eye on, as like I said, it not only works very well, but it also has a lot of potential. But I do hope they do something, or there's levels going to be released or something that it's just a bit more than just running around on the ground and shooting, and it just needs a little bit more. Just a little bit more level design, in my opinion, of course. But again, a special thank you to Kato Games for providing me with the code. I did have a good time with the demo, and I will be checking out the full game when it comes out. But please let me know in the comments down below if you're checking out Slyders, or what you think. Do you agree with me? It just needs a bit more in the levels for you to run around and do. But as always, thank you very much for watching.